Right now, if you handed the average American a surprise $400 bill, a car repair, a broken tooth, a busted water heater, more than a third of them could not pay it with cash. Not 4,000, 400. The Federal Reserve found that 37% of adults would have to borrow the money or sell something to cover it. And of those, a lot of them couldn't cover it at all. Now here's the part that should stop you. Most of those people are not lazy. Many of them work full-time. Some of them earn what you'd call a decent income. So if it isn't about how hard they work, and it isn't always about how much they earn, then what is quietly keeping them poor? It's a handful of mistakes, small, invisible, and so completely normal that you are almost certainly making at least one of them right now. And the last one we'll get to isn't about money at all. It's the belief underneath all the others, and it's the reason people who should be rich still aren't. So let me show you the trap, because it's a trap, and it works the same way on almost everyone. It usually begins with something that feels like winning, a raise, a better job, more money landing in your account than last year. And for about a month, it feels amazing. Then something strange happens. The extra money vanishes, and you have no idea where it went. You didn't do anything reckless. You just upgraded. A slightly nicer apartment, a newer car, because you'd earned it. Eating out a little more, because you were tired. Each choice was small. Each one was reasonable. But add them up and your spending rose to swallow your raise completely. You're earning more than you ever have, and you have exactly nothing more to show for it. This is the treadmill almost no one escapes, and it has a name: lifestyle inflation. The faster you run, the faster the belt moves under you. And the cruel joke is that it feels like progress the entire time you're standing still. Here's why it's so dangerous. If your lifestyle grows every time your income grows, you will never get ahead no matter how much you make. A bigger salary just buys a more expensive version of the same problem. It's why people earning six figures still live paycheck to paycheck, genuinely baffled at where it all goes. And where it goes is the second mistake, hiding right behind the first. You don't actually know where your money is going. Not really. If I asked you right now what you spent in the last 30 days, the subscriptions, the little taps of your card, the deliveries, it's only $5, could you tell me? Within a few $100s? Almost no one can. And that fog is expensive, because money you're not watching doesn't sit still. It leaks. A subscription you forgot to cancel. A free trial that quietly started charging. Fees you never read. Small, silent withdrawals every month. From a bank account you're afraid to look at too closely. None of these feel like anything on their own. That's exactly why they work. They're small enough to ignore and constant enough to matter. And over a year, they can quietly drain thousands of dollars you'll never be able to account for. But leaks are survivable. What comes next is what turns a leak into a sinking ship. Debt. The expensive kind, because sooner or later, on the treadmill, with no idea where your money goes, something breaks, and you reach for the thing that's always there, waiting, friendly, printed on a little plastic rectangle. The credit card feels like a solution. It's actually the moment the trap locks shut. Here's what almost no one really internalizes. Earlier in this channel, we spent a whole video marveling at compound growth, the way invested money quietly earns money, which then earns more money, snowballing into a fortune over time. High-interest debt is that exact same miracle, running in reverse, pointed directly at you. When you carry a balance on a card charging 20-something%, compounding doesn't work for you anymore. It works against you with the same relentless patience. Your debt earns interest. That interest earns more interest. And you can make payment after payment and watch the balance barely move. Because you're not climbing out of a hole, you're running up a down escalator. The same force that could have made you wealthy is now making someone else wealthy, using you. And the reason you can't just pay it off and walk away leads to the next mistake, maybe the most important one of all. You have no cushion, no buffer, no floor beneath you. Remember that $400 emergency? This is where it becomes a catastrophe instead of an annoyance. Because when you have no emergency savings, every unexpected expense, and they are not actually unexpected, life guarantees them, has to go on the card, which deepens the debt, which makes it even harder to save, which guarantees the next surprise also goes on the card. That's the trap fully assembled, round and round. Lifestyle creeping up, money leaking out, debt compounding against you, and no cushion to break the cycle. Each mistake feeding the next. And here's the quiet tragedy sitting on top of all of it. While this is happening, you're not just failing to get ahead. You're losing the one thing you can never buy back: time. Because every year your money spends trapped in this cycle is a year it isn't doing the one thing that actually builds wealth growing, quietly compounding in your favor, for once, instead of against you. We've shown it on this channel before. Small amounts invested early, left alone for decades, become sums that look impossible. But that only works if the money gets in the game. And money that's plugging leaks and feeding a credit card never does. It gets worse, in a way that's almost painful. Many people in this cycle are turning down free money without realizing it. An employer offering to match your retirement contributions is handing you a raise. You simply have to reach out and take. And huge numbers of people leave it sitting on the table, because every dollar already has somewhere to be. And even the cash they do manage to save is quietly dying, because money sitting still doesn't stay the same size. Inflation eats it, a few percent every year. So the safe pile of cash under the mattress is actually shrinking in what it can buy. So that's the machine. That's how you can work hard, earn a real income, and still arrive at that $400 wall with nothing behind you. But now I have to stop and be honest with you, the way we always are here, because there's a version of this video that would be a lie. Not all of this is your fault. It has become fashionable to tell people that they'd be rich if they just skipped their morning coffee. That's mostly nonsense, and it's a little cruel. Because for a great many people, the problem isn't a latte. It's that wages have crawled while the price of rent, health care, and groceries has sprinted. You cannot budget your way out of a math problem that big. And there's a deeper trap most of these videos never mention. Being broke is itself expensive. When you have no cushion, you can't buy the reliable car, so you pay to fix the cheap one. Twice. You pay overdraft fees the wealthy never see. You pay more for everything, precisely because you have less. It's a tax on being poor, and no amount of willpower makes it disappear. So if you're in this cycle, hear this clearly. Some of these mistakes are choices, and some of them are just circumstances wearing the mask of choices. Knowing the difference is the whole game. You focus your energy on the parts you can actually control, and you stop beating yourself up over the parts you can't. Which brings us finally to the mistake underneath all the other mistakes. The belief, the one I promised you at the start, the one that isn't about money at all, It's the quiet assumption that the answer is always more. More income, a bigger salary, the raise, the promotion, the side hustle, as if a larger number flowing in will finally fix everything. But go back and look at the trap we just walked through. Every single part of it, the lifestyle creep, the leaks, the debt, the missing cushion, every one of them scales with your income. They don't shrink when you earn more. They grow, which is the answer to a mystery this whole channel keeps circling. It's why lottery winners lose it all. It's why athletes earning millions go bankrupt. It's why the richest man who ever lived, Mansa Musa, gave away a fortune so vast it broke an economy and still had to borrow money just to get home. If you never learn to keep, then no amount you earn will ever be enough. The hole just gets bigger to match. Wealth was never really about how much comes in. It's about how much you manage to hold on to. Earning is how you fill the bucket. But if the bucket is full of holes, you can pour in a fortune and still end up with nothing, which is exactly what happens to almost everyone who suddenly gets one. So the real mistake isn't the coffee or the car or even the credit card. It's spending your whole life trying to earn your way out of a problem that can only be fixed by learning to keep. Fix the bucket first. Patch one hole, just one. Cancel the leak you forgot about. Save the first $100 of your cushion. Refuse the next upgrade you don't actually want. It will feel far too small to matter. It is the single most important thing you can do, because someone who earns an ordinary income and keeps a real share of it will quietly, slowly end up wealthier than someone who earns a fortune and holds on to none of it, every single time. That's the difference between the money that slips through your fingers and the money that stays, and it starts the moment you stop asking how to make more and start asking how to keep what you already have. Next time on this channel, we're following that thread all the way to the top, to the people who don't just keep their wealth, but grow it for generations, and the quiet habits that let a fortune outlive the person who built it.